For the first 30 seconds of this incredible journey, the viewer is immediately pulled into a rapid-fire preview of everything that is about to unfold as the epic rise, tragic collapse, emotional betrayals, unexpected twists, shocking alliances, strange cosmic energies, hilarious character moments, and heartbreaking sacrifices of the mutant nation of Krakoa are laid out in a fast-paced and irresistibly dramatic promise of a story so packed with tension, humor, devastation, triumph, and pure mutant chaos that skipping even a second would feel like losing a piece of the most unpredictable era in X-Men history, setting the stage for an unforgettable supercut that condenses years of storytelling into one massive rollercoaster of excitement designed to keep the viewer glued to the screen. The saga begins by painting the creation of Krakoa as one of the most miraculous and politically explosive victories mutants have ever achieved, forming a living, breathing island nation carved out of hope, desperation, unimaginable power, and the stubborn determination of a species trying to survive a world that has always feared and hated them, turning isolation into strength and allowing the X-Men to rise from a scattered team into a united civilization where every mutant, whether hero, villain, outcast, or omega-level force of nature, could finally walk without fear under a single banner of mutant pride, while still carrying the emotional weight of centuries of persecution. As the story unfolds, the viewer is carried through sweeping explanations of how Krakoa's transformation into a superpower begins with mutant diplomacy that is simultaneously brilliant, hilarious, and deeply chaotic, especially when characters who should never be allowed near formal negotiations are suddenly responsible for shaping world politics, leading to moments filled with comedic tension where incredibly powerful mutants try to appear professional while barely holding themselves, together creating an amusing contrast with their world-shattering abilities. The narrative then transitions into the emotional heart of the saga, exploring how the resurrection protocols create a strange mixture of relief, hope, existential dread, and dark humor, because nothing tests the soul of a nation quite like the realization that dying no longer carries its usual consequences, turning death into both an ordinary inconvenience and a terrifying philosophical minefield that forces every character to reconsider identity, purpose, and what it truly means to be alive when versions of themselves can be reborn with memories uploaded like cosmic software, resulting in emotionally heavy yet oddly comedic reflections on selfhood and destiny. As the mutant society grows stronger, the script drifts into the complex political structures of Krakoa, explaining how the nation's internal government oscillates between genius decision-making, wild power struggles, morally questionable bargains, and moments where the fate of an entire civilization hinges on decisions that look suspiciously like the result of sleep deprivation and bad coffee, creating a strangely relatable yet deeply intense atmosphere of ambitious leaders trying to balance absolute power with the impossible responsibility of protecting a species constantly teetering on the edge of extinction. The video continues by diving into the threats that challenge Krakoa, escalating from external enemies who fear mutant dominance to cosmic beings who simply do not care about the island's sovereignty, blending terror, awe, and humor as the X-Men face off against foes who seem 10 steps ahead, 10 times more powerful, or in some cases 10 times more annoyed by the sheer stubbornness of mutant resilience, resulting in sequences where the emotional stakes collide with absurd, chaotic, and darkly funny moments of pure superhero insanity. The Fall of Krakoa intensifies the emotional weight of the narrative as the viewer watches the collapse of a dream that once felt unbreakable, revealing betrayal, manipulation, political sabotage, and heartbreaking losses that tear through the heart of the mutant nation, forcing characters to confront the brutal truth that paradise is fragile, unity is difficult, and even the strongest civilizations can crumble under the pressure of hidden enemies, flawed leadership, and the cruelty of fate, creating a devastating yet profoundly moving emotional arc. As the story reaches its peak, the narrative weaves together the final battles, the desperate last stands, the heroic sacrifices, and the painfully ironic consequences of earlier choices, building a crescendo of tension where characters who once stood invincible are pushed beyond their limits, making the viewer feel the punch of every downfall, the hope in every comeback, and the terrifying uncertainty of whether the mutant race will survive the collapse of everything they fought to build, all while injecting occasional bursts of humor that remind the audience that even in the darkest moments, the X-Men are still experts at sarcasm and dramatic timing. The final moments of the Supercut deliver a reflection on the legacy of Krakoa, exploring how its rise and fall become a symbol of both mutant potential and mutant tragedy, leaving the audience with a bittersweet understanding that even though the island may fall, the dream it represented continues to burn in every mutant heart, keeping the spirit of unity, rebellion, humor, and resilience alive in a way that feels both inspiring and emotionally powerful, making viewers eager to see how the X-Men will rebuild, adapt, and evolve in the aftermath of their greatest triumph and most devastating loss. This massive story, filled with emotion, chaos, comedy, heartbreak, epic battles, cosmic forces, and unforgettable characters, is crafted to hold the viewer's attention from beginning to end, delivering a cinematic and immersive experience that captures the full intensity of the modern X-Men era while maintaining a playful, self-aware tone that makes the journey as entertaining as it is dramatic, ensuring that fans and newcomers alike feel the full impact of Krakoa's rise and fall. And as the video comes to a close, the viewer is gently yet enthusiastically reminded that supporting this channel is what keeps these massive stories alive. So if you enjoyed this emotional, hilarious, and action-packed supercut of the X-Men's greatest modern saga, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment sharing your favorite moment, and share this video with anyone who loves mutant history as much as you do, because together we'll keep exploring every corner of the Nerd Multiverse.